Elite Facts presents
8 people who caused catastrophes for dumb reasons.
8.
Authorities tend to be increasingly alert of suspicious vehicles in sensitive areas, especially after 9/11 and the Boston Marathon bombings. Israel Shimlis was not thinking about those concerns when he parked his car, which happened to have a pressure cooker and a propane tank in it, near the Washington National Mall. It was just 15 minutes until the annual Memorial Day concert was to begin. Both of these items had something to do with his job. He owns a food truck and the pressure cooker was for cooking rice, but both can also be used to make bombs. The cooker detonated, and Shimlis apologized for any inconvenience he caused.
7.
In Borja, Spain, a well-meaning woman decided to restore an image of Jesus Christ that was painted by Elias Garcia in the 1930s. Unbeknownst to the caretakers, Cecilia Jimenez restored the painting beyond recognition. She was not a trained painter, and the incident went viral on the internet and the community was horrified. Cecilia immediately went into hiding. Ironically, her restoration has made the painting a local tourist attraction, and many people consider the painting to now be a pop icon.
6.
Slippery Steve spent the early morning of June 30th, 2009, taking PVM Oil Futures money, $520 million worth, and bought $7 million barrels of oil. This was an unauthorized trade that ended up costing a $10 million loss. Steve claimed he was intoxicated the next day when his misdeed was discovered. He was fined $72,000 and fired. The day after the incident, Steve was hired by another brokerage who stated that Steve was a good man who did a stupid thing.
5.
On a Florida turnpike, James Schneider noticed a cat and quickly pulled to the side of the road to save it. His good deed ended up causing a 5-mile traffic jam as he ran into the center lane of the freeway. Schneider was critically injured, and the incident resulted in the death of a 75-year-old woman in another car, as well as the death of the cat.
4.
Jack Russell's Great White, a metal band, had a tour manager that was responsible for one of the most horrific nightclub fires known in the U.S. at the station in West Warwick, Rhode Island. The manager, Daniel Bichel, decided to set off some pyrotechnics during the opening of the show. He claims he had done this many a time at other clubs and alleges that the club had given him the okay to set off the pyrotechnics. Acoustic foam covering the low ceilings of the club, causing the ceiling to catch fire and engulfing the whole venue in flames. 230 people were injured and 100 people died, including Ty Longley, the guitarist of the band. Michelle stated that he never intended for anyone to get hurt and was sentenced to 4 years in prison.
3.
Francesco Schettino, an Italian citizen and the captain of the Costa Concordia cruise ship, was on the bridge of his ship with his new girlfriend. In an attempt to impress her, he was determined to attempt a sail pass salute. This requires the ship to enter very shallow waters. He told his girlfriend he had done this before, and he turned off all the alarms on the ship before attempting to navigate into the shallow waters. Schettino ended up capsizing the 4,229 passenger boat, leading to the death of 32 people on board. For his careless and reckless act, he was sentenced to 16 years in prison.
2.
An unhappily married man, James R. Scott, decided that instead of filing for divorce, the solution to his marital difficulties was to flood a bridge to prevent his wife from getting home. On July 16, 1993, he removed some sandbags at the levee near West Quincy, Missouri. This caused the Mississippi River to not only flood the bridge, but flood the surrounding area as well. Scott was at first believed to be another citizen trying to avert disaster, but suspicions grew as after he confessed to a friend that he caused the flood so his wife couldn't get home. He claims he did so he could fish, party, and have an affair. The flood became known as the Great Flood of 1993, and Scott was sentenced to a life in prison.
1.
Sadie Renee Johnson tossed a firework into some shrubs on the side of the road near her residence in Warm Springs, Oregon on July 20th, 2013. The fire was spotted quickly but spiraled out of control. It spread over 51,000 acres, causing $8 million in costs to contain. Shortly after posting "Like My Fire" on her Facebook page, she was arrested. She pled guilty and claimed she set the fire because she was worried that the firefighters were bored. she didn't think it would get so out of control.
Don't forget to like us and subscribe for more Elite Facts.